Satnam Aloha. So happy fake New Year. Did everybody have a fake New Year celebration on January 1st? When it turned midnight, did anything change? Yeah, probably not. It's because this is the cross of planning stuff, right? January 21st January 1st is a man-made construct of the new year, and it governs ledgers and contracts and taxes and budgets, timelines, all those sorts of things. So it's about the system tracking the humans rather than time for you to do a reset. So keep that in mind if you have made New Year's resolutions and stuff. Try it out, see what happens. But this is what we're in. The sun is in the 38th gate. So remember that with the mandala, right? The sun moves around all of these gates and it takes about 365 days. So when the sun's in the 41, that means that's the start, right? There's a start codon. So if we go back to here, we're really in a 4-stage death, rebirth cycle. So if you're on my channel, if you subscribe to my channel, you'll get stuff like this. This is the content that I post daily on the transits, and I try to make them of value. Like, what would I want to see? Well, I'd want to see something like this, right? That Ra talked about in human design. So right now we're in this four stages of death, rebirth cycle until we get to January 21st, right? And that's when the sun moves into the 41st gate, and that's when energetically we'll feel the new starting. So right now we're in the 38. So I posted some questions for you to contemplate during this while the sun is in the 38. So December 31st was in the 38, and it's there until January 5th. So this is about checking in with your purpose. Check in with your purpose, your soul purpose, and what did you fight for this year? What did you struggle with this year? What drained you with no return? What did you keep pushing without meaning? And if there was no purpose to it, then this is something to let go of the next couple days. And your body will know. Your body will tell you where you were fighting, struggling without any purpose. And then January 5th is the second, right? The second stage. And this is about ambition, the 54. And this is who you rise with, who you ascend with. So you want to ask yourself this year, like, who actually showed up for me, right? Who benefited from your energy without an equal exchange? They took, you gave. And what are you no longer climbing, right? Or who? Who am I no longer climbing with? Who's not on the path with you? Or maybe you're piggybacking them, right? Well, it's time to drop them. They've got to climb that mountain on their own. So ambition here is about allies. Your allies, not necessarily goals. Okay, so that's January 5th. And then on January 10th, stage 3, and that's the 61, the 61st gate. And so this is about no more self-deception. This is about inner truth. So what do you know now that you didn't want to admit before? You didn't want to admit, you didn't want to cop to it, right? Like, what do you know now that you didn't know before? What story are you done protecting, making excuses for? Those sorts of things. What truth simplifies everything? And this is clarity. This is about becoming clear, right? So that's January 10th. And then January 16th, this is limitation. The 60th, Pluto was in there for a long, long time. So this is the real ending, right? It's the gate before the 41. So this is, what are you done carrying? What are you done carrying? What identity, what role, what timeline has expired, right? It's like the expired milk in the fridge. What's expired? What has to go? What happens if you stop trying to force the next chapter? what happens, right, when you just accept. So acceptance is about what you do with this, because it's a shadow of limitation, is you accept, right, and then transformation happens there. Okay, so there's the 60. Okay, and then January 21st, game is on, game on, January 21st. And this is when the sun enters the 41. It's the initiation of the whole experiential, right? Your experience, the human experience starts here when the sun in the 41. And you'll feel the difference. Like, tune into your energy right now. Does it feel new? Right? Be honest with yourself. Okay, so let's go to the full moon, the star of the show here. So the full moon's in Cancer, and it's in the 39th gate, line 4. So there you see it there. So you want to check your natal chart, right? So on the Human Design Bingo card, it's coming off the root, under the root, 39. Do you have it? Or the 38, right? So you may have some of these numbers here. And you're going to learn about your own natal chart by listening to these transit reports. That's my intention anyway. So the full moon, right, is really lighting up, because we have to look at the full moon, right? We got to look at the sun and the moon together. So these are programming partners, right? There they are at the root, the 38 and 39. So the 38 is the fighter, the gate of the fighter, and with the moon, which is the gate of the provocateur, provocation, this one. That's a fun one. Let me know if you've got the 39. I have it. And I have the 38. So what's the 38 asking you now is, why am I fighting? Why am I fighting? And what still triggers me? The 39, right? Provokes, which means triggers you. And remember, the 39 plays a major role in the solar plexus mutation, because look what's on the other side is the 55. And the 55 goes through a mutation, but it needs the 39 to be poking at it, right? So this full moon is exposing the false battles. The false battles. Not bad intentions, just expired, right? Your reasons for fighting for something that may be long gone, may be dead, like dead in energy, if you know what I mean. And you're still fighting to keep it alive. You're trying to resuscitate it. It's like Weekend at Bernie's, right? You got this corpse that you're dragging around, your corpse of a relationship, your corpse of a job or a place of living or an old identity, and you're dragging it around, fighting for it. Right? And it's already gone. How do you know? You just tune into your energy and you'll feel if there's any energy. Do you know what I mean? Like the energy can just drop in relationships. It's like there's nothing there anymore. It's not worth fighting for. And if you do fight for it, it drains you. It exhausts you. You get headaches. You get pain in your bodies, right? Because your body is paying the price for trying to keep something alive that's died, right? So the full moon will show you that. So if you fought all year, like let's talk all year, right? Because we're in this this death rebirth process right now until the sun moves into the 41, that you ended up being depleted, resentful, invisible, misunderstood even, right? Spiritually numb, but functional, right? Barely alive. So this is, you found out what's ready to die. You know what's ready to die. That's what the full moon is saying. The full moon's going to have the big floodlight on it. This needs to die. So don't look, don't turn your head, don't look away, right? Look, because you know what? Because your body already voted. Your body already voted and said, this is gone, this is dead, right? So your mind has to catch up, and the full moon's going to help you with that. So if we go to we'll do a planetary check-in here, and then I'll go to this major channel that's being Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to spoil the moment here. So Mercury is in the 10.5, and I just posted a meme. Was it today? I can't remember. All the days are blurring into one, yesterday or today. Well, maybe it was today. So this is about authentic behavior under a spotlight. So again, go to my the community tab on my channel, and you'll see it. Okay. So this is about your behavior under a spotlight. So remember, with authenticity, this is about authenticity, the 10th gate. With authenticity, it's not polite. It's not always polite to be authentic. So that means whatever your body is communicating to you, that's what you obey. This is not about being nice. It's not about following a script. What it means to be a good person is that you always say yes and you never say no. Right? So this is under the spotlight now. You're seeing this. Am I matching? Am I saying no when my body is saying yes? Am I saying yes when my body is saying no? Right? This is the correct behavior that's going to be in your mind. So you're being heard, right? Right now you're being heard for who you actually are, your authentic self, not who you pretend to be. Right? And this is going to get stronger and stronger as we move into 2027. Right? Only authenticity will have the power. It's the only thing that will have the power. Saturn in the 36, right down here. What's that saying? Saturn is saying it's emotionally mature. It's about maturing emotionally now. And this means no more making excuses that chaos and crises makes me grow, right? Makes me grow to always be in a crisis situation, always putting out fires, my fires, other people's fires, all this drama, right? You're outgrowing this. Saturn is like, you're outgrowing this. You're not calling this growth anymore. You're calling it what it is crises that never ends, and you're addicted to it, right? And this is like emotional sobriety. You know how people drink alcohol and do drugs and stuff? This is, people can be drunk on emotions too, addicted to emotions, addicted to stress, adrenaline, right? Because that's what they're used to from their family of origin. So you've outgrown it. Saturn is like, it's time to outgrow this storyline. No, this isn't what I want anymore, right? It's not making me grow. It's keeping me in a stress trauma response, right? Uranus in the 8.4. Down here, this means that you're mutating your contribution. How you contribute to the world is mutating. So your role in the world is changing, whether your ego is ready for it or not. No, I need more qualifications. No, I need more time. I need more stuff. No, I need more money. No, Uranus is saying no. We don't care. We don't care if your little tiny ego is ready to contribute or not. You're mutating, right? You're mutating and changing this full moon. And then Neptune, which I'll talk about in the 25.2. This is your spiritual innocence is stripped clean. So these illusions around what it means to be a good person, a good girl, being a spiritual person, being selfless, being liked, is dissolving. This is dissolving. All the fakery is dissolving with the cross of planning, dissolving. And then, of course, we got Pluto in the 41. And this is the seed. It's the seed of the new timeline. And it's already been planted. The seed's already been planted. So you're not starting fresh, right? You're not starting fresh this time. You're starting true. You're starting authentic this time, right? That's a major word for the cross of the sleeping phoenix coming in 2027. And then if we look here, this is really important too. You've got the Venus in the 38th gate and Mars in the 38th gate. Different lines, but they're both in the 38. Drawing attention to this. So this is values, Venus, values and action, Mars, tied to your soul purpose, right? Because this the 38 is your soul purpose. So you've got to ask yourself, why am I here on this planet? Why am I here on this planet? And what am I here to do? What am I here to contribute? Right? What's my soul purpose? Is it just to keep this body alive? Is it just to pay my bills? Is it to bread and circus? Right? Probably not. If you're on my fractal, this is not a kickback lifetime for you. You're not on a vacation lifetime. You have a purpose, a greater purpose. So this is your values, and your actions have to meet, have to be aligned here. So your heart and your effort must be aligned, or frustration will spike really, really fast. And I'll talk about what else will happen too. So gate 38, look, it's down at the root. It has nothing to do with thinking, right? You're not going to gain clarity through thinking and talking with other people. Clarity comes through friction, right? When things stop working externally, right? Delays, people flaking out on you, money not flowing, right? Plans stalling. This is the 38 saying, why are you still fighting for this? Why are you still fighting for this? It's like you're banging your head against the wall. It's just disaster after disaster, blocks, delays, right? Money, problems, whatever it is, right? It's like, yeah, stop. That's what gate 38 is saying, stop. So if the purpose is real, though, with the 38th gate, right? If the purpose is real, the resistance is going to sharpen you like a sword. You're being forged. What does this mean? It means you grow. You grow spiritually. Your awareness starts to expand. That means it's your fight, right? You're evolving. Your soul's expanding. Now, if the purpose is expired or it's false, which means it's based in fear, or trying to like uphold this fake mask that you're wearing, then the resistance will exhaust you. Well, you're not growing. You just feel exhausted and depleted, right? That's the difference. So the misalignment with Venus and Mars here in the 38, when your actions are misaligned with your values, when your actions aren't coming from your soul, then it's going to get loud, right? So this means that your relationships, if your heart's not in this relationship, if your soul's not into this relationship, it can feel dry and disappointing, right? Like there's no energy. It's not fertile. Your relationship's not fertile. It's not growing. If your action isn't meaningful, effort can feel heavy and resentful and draining. And if you're pushing for outcomes, like your ego is attached to an outcome instead of your purpose, nothing clicks, nothing happens. So this can show up externally, like in your relationships where your conversations are going nowhere, right? You're having the same arguments and conflicts over and over. It goes nowhere. Plans fall apart at the last minute. People not meeting you, right, where you are. Right? You're misunderstood. They're not meeting your depth. And there's effort on your part with zero return. Return on investment for you is zero. So this is not punishment. Don't look at this as punishment with Venus and Mars here. Look at it as feedback, right? It's feedback for you. And then we got to talk about this, don't we? Look at this, the willpower center and the solar plexus defined through the 4037, and these are major codes for the cross of planning. That's getting mutated, this 4037. So this is the channel of community, it's marriage, it's agreements, it's tribal, right? It's social contracts, and this is locked in until May 2026. So this transit is with us for quite a while. And I'll explore it from different angles too. So let me know if you have this 4037. So what's being illuminated here is who actually shows up. It's about community in your relationships. Who actually shows up for you when it costs them something, when they have to make a compromise or something in their life, but they show up for you, right? Where is loyalty one-sided? Where is loyalty one-sided? We're family, we're family and team. We're in team, or we're in a partnership, right? We're a team. We're all together. Like we're soul fam. Hey, we're fam. And it's just a vibe, right? It's not in practice. It's all talk, right? It's all image. Look at that, right? So gate 40 says, I will work, right? Gate 40 says, I will work, but not for free. And gate 37 says, care must be mutual or it collapses. So any relationship, community, or role that services this, right? That survives this transit, right? That means that it's real. It's real. Everything else will evaporate. All those fake relationships will evaporate. And remember, with the 4037, this is mutating. Major mutations. So this bargain of like, I do this for you, you do this for me, I sacrifice my authenticity for you, I play a role, that's dissolving. If you're in a community where you can't be your authentic self, that's not your community, right? In this year, we've got Aquarius, Leo stuff going on in terms of the eclipses, right? And that's all about being your authentic self within the group, the collective. So anyone that wants you to be sacrificing your authenticity to play a role for them, one-sided, it's not your community, and it will dissolve. It will totally dissolve. Because the Cross of the Sleeping Phoenix will no longer support this any longer. Okay, so this channel doesn't care about vibes. 4037 doesn't care about good vibes and what you're saying, right? It cares about, is this fair? Is this equal? Is this transaction equal? Is this bargain equal? So what's getting exposed right now are people calling you sister. Hey, you're my sister. Not like my blood sister, but my sister. Oh, you're my sister, my brother. You're my family. But ghosting when you actually need support. They ghost you. They don't show up for you. They don't show up. Right? That's the good talk. The talk. You must have met a few of these people by now. They're all over the spiritual community. I've met many in my day. So the communities that talk about unity, right? But disappear when money, time, or effort is required, right? We're in this together. That's the other thing. We're in this together until it's inconvenient for them or uncomfortable, or they're getting triggered and they have to do their shadow work. I'm out. See ya. Right? But they do the good talk that they're on the spiritual journey. That's not community. That's upholding a false image, right? This spiritual bypassing. This is the false light that we're going to see more and more and more of. So 4037 also doesn't care about bloodlines. If you look at your family of origin, this channel is about agreement based. It's not DNA based. So when the family runs on guilt, like your family of origin may run on guilt, obligation, emotional IOUs, after all I've done for you, right? And whatever it comes up after that, that's not love. It's leverage, right? It's leverage. And gate 37 wants family only when it's mutual. And gate 40 will withdraw, right? And go into solitude the moment it feels like it's being manipulated, right? Or the guilt and shame script will come up too. That's how the tribe controls. You should because you're my daughter, right? Sisters don't say no to each other. They're there for each other. Family comes first. Family always comes first. Blood is thicker than water. You can only trust your family, right? So the translation of that is override your body and your authenticity so that I don't have to feel uncomfortable with you saying no. So in your body's been screaming this for years, right? Right? Been screaming this for years. Been screaming no for years, but you've been overriding it because of this conditioning. Now you're going to see it. So what breaks now? This mutation, what breaks now is the one-sided caregiving, being the parent to your parent, the parentified child, they're called. Siblings who never stand with you, siblings that are always taking from you, they never stand with you. Respect that only goes up the hierarchy, not to you, right? Up the hierarchy. And so you're not rejecting your family, right? You've got to get used to this, like saying no to your family of origin. And they're the big kahunas, right? So what you're rejecting, you're not rejecting your family when you say no, you're rejecting emotional debt slavery that's taking you, and you're dropping this mask that you wear with your family of origin that's not real, this role that you've taken on, right? So what you're saying is, I love you. I do. I love you. But I can't participate in these dynamics any longer, right? I'm dropping the script, and you're going to see it. And if you betray yourself, your body is going to get loud. You think your body is loud now? This year, it's going to get louder and louder and louder, right? Because we're entering now form consciousness, and that's the sleeping phoenix energy. That's what you can trust. You can't trust your mind to tell you the truth. You can't trust anybody to tell you the truth. You can't trust an outer authority to tell you the truth. All you can trust is your body, right? So listen to your body right now. Is your body opening and receptive to my words, right? Then you know, oh, this is true. This is true for me. And if your ego is making a big stink and you got an argument in your head with me, that's not the truth, right? The truth is your body. Always go back to your body. The ego will always try to put up a wall between you and the truth, but it can't with your body. If you drop into the body, your ego can't mess with you in that area, right? So just if you leave with any message, even if you're like, okay, I'm done with this video, here's my message. Listen to your body. Listen to your body. Your body's going to get louder. And once you start to obey it, that means you're authentic, right? I'm listening to my body now. And this is what it means to be authentic. I'm aligned with the sleeping phoenix. But it's going to make people like you're selfish. You'll get that kind of nonsense from the NPCs that are still part of the cross of planning, right? But you don't play those games anymore. Okay, so there we have that, the 39. And let's go into these dates. Neptune and Aries. Okay. January 26, right? January 26, Neptune goes into Aries. February 20th, Neptune and Saturn are conjunct in 0 degrees Aries. These are major resets this year. This is the fire year, right? The fire year. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about Neptune and Aries that's coming up, right? So it's been in Pisces, and I can't wait till things start to get into fire, right? I'm a double Leo rising, Leo moon. I miss the fire, right? I miss the fire. The water, it's like you're spinning your wheels. It feels like you're spinning your wheels. You're not getting anywhere because it's about emotional, right? Emotional work. So we're going to see it's going to be action time. We're going to feel the difference, right? As we come closer. Because what is it, January 3rd now, right? So this is the fire that never died. Neptune and Aries. Okay? So 1206. This was the last time I did a little history lesson here. Tiny little history lesson. Because that's the beauty of astrology. It works in cycles, just like life, right? Life moves in cycles. So if we go back, I want to go back to 1206. And you may know why I'm going back to 1206, because this was the time of the Cathars. The Cathars. And this was the group. This was the mutation. The pre-mutation of the sleeping phoenix, but it wasn't the right environment, right, for it to hold. So Cathars split from the church. And what did they say? They said, we're good over here. We're embodying the teachings of Christ, right? We're embracing gnosis, which is a direct learning from the higher self, right? From the being, the inner being. And of course, the church was really, really threatened by that. And so they went and exterminated all the Cathars, 1206. So, but you need to remember, there was the prophecy, 700 years later, the Cathars would return. And that was in 2021. That's 700 years. Anyway, go to, I always put a link in the information box. I did a video on it, The High Priestess in Hiding, and watch that. And then there's a other link with a 45-minute like historical documentary on the Cathars. There's not a lot out there about the Cathars, but listen to that, because if you're on my fractal, then you have a past life connection to the Cathars. Okay, so you can feel it. Neptune in Aries, right? History's repeating itself. Something's coming. Something's rising from the unconscious right now for you in my fractal. If you're on my fractal, you're going to relate to this. Right? The fire, the fear, right, is rising. And you've walked this path before. Neptune in Aries is saying that you've walked this path before. And 5 times the flame has returned. Right? And this is the 6th time coming, 2026. This is the last. And this is the homecoming. Right here. So 1206. This was when the Cathars burned, right? This is when the mystic feminine stood in her body, right? Sacred sexuality, divine union, the inner Christ. She needed no priest. You didn't need a priest. You became the temple. You didn't need a temple. You became the temple. Your body became the temple. So what did they do? They called you a heretic, and they burned you alive. And this body was not was not theirs to control. Your body was not theirs to control. Your voice was not theirs to silence you. This fire was not theirs to extinguish, but they extinguished it. Right? And this is the line of the high priestess, the lineage of the high priestess that went underground during this time. 1226 to Neptune in Aries, 1206 to 1220. To 1220, Neptune was in Aries. Okay, and then 1330, this is how the lineage traveled. The Cathar lineage, the high priestess traveled. 1370, this is the mystic, but she writes in shadow. She writes in shadow. These are like Julian of Norwich, if you know her, Catherine of Siena. And so these were the women who spoke to God. God spoke to them, but they were in cloistered solitude, removed from community. And the church couldn't burn. Why did they do that? Because the church couldn't burn what they couldn't see. The fire survived. The fire survived here through prayer and parchment. A hidden lineage of vision and vows, but they were hidden. So this time, you said, I will not die for my truth. I did that with the Cathars. This lifetime, no. I will live it quietly. I will live it quietly. You said that my voice will find you, right? Centuries later, my voice will find you. And then in 1533, this was the Protestant Reformation, caught fire. This is when the people rose. The next time Neptune was in Aries. The priests, right? The priests, the church, they lost control of the people because the Bible was translated. Martin Luther, right? And it entered into everyone's hands, that knowledge, right? So your soul remembers this time. Your soul remembered, I am sovereign. And women began to write and to think and to question. And the veil between the spiritual and the political started to thin. They weren't so merged. They were merged before. So you said you don't need someone to mediate your divinity. You don't need a middleman. Your devotion does not require someone else's permission, right? Your connection to the divine doesn't require someone else's permission. And then in 1697, right, the fire, this is the Enlightenment movement, right? So the feminine became intellectually dangerous. The mystic now wields reason. The mind opens, right, during this time, but the body forgets, right? What you knew as a Cathar, the body forgets. You forget the body. So you can't erase the sacred by naming it science. In that lifetime, you said, I will reclaim both my intuition and my logic. I'll reclaim both of them in that lifetime. And then 1861, the next time Neptune was in Aries, this is the wound, right? The wound, as above, so below. What's the wound? The wound became a civil war. This is where the trauma bond unraveled. Freedom or slavery here. Union or domination. And so this is when the truth started to rise and the feminine joined the battlefield. And this is like, this body is not yours to own, not anymore. That's how the fire got expressed in 1861. And now it's the return of the fire in 2026. This is the sixth time the fire arrives. But this time you're not alone, right? This time you're not alone. The priestess walks beside the protector. The priestess walks beside the protector. And the protector appears when the priestess comes out of hiding. She has to come out of hiding and the protector will appear for her. And now you say, I am the fire. I am the fire that you tried to bury, right? And now I've returned in a woman's body. So this is you reclaiming your fire this year, your fire, the flame this year. So you've died. You've died many times physically, but not permanently, because the soul, the flame, the fire can never die. You've hidden. You remained hidden in these lifetimes. You've kept quiet. You've made yourself small to survive, to stay safe. You've waited and waited, and now you rise. This is the lifetime you rise. So you're the fire that they couldn't kill, that they couldn't destroy, right? They couldn't destroy your voice. You're the answer. You are the answer to the prayer of the Cathars in 1206, right? From 700 years ago. This is the prayer that they tried to erase. You're the answered prayer of the Cathars. So you're the prophecy, right? The 700-year prophecy. We will return. And you've returned in a woman's body. And that's very, very important as a divine feminine. So Neptune in Aries now in 2026 says, this is the end of you abandoning yourself, abandoning your spiritual identity. This is it. This is the end. Neptune in Aries is like, this is the end. And Neptune dissolves whatever it touches, right? So, the other thing I wanted to talk about is my retreat. So I wanted to talk about Neptune here. And Neptune in the chart, the human design chart, represents the grandmother's protection. Your grandmother's protection here. So in the retreat, we're going to go through the Neptune transit since it was discovered in 1847 and how it's influenced our civilization. Where Neptune changes a sign, it's a big deal, right? Because it takes 184 years for Neptune to go around the wheel. And so we don't get to experience that, a full Neptune return, right, in our lifetime. Okay, so it creates massive change through the gates and the signs. So personally, you look at your own human design chart and look where your Neptune is, right? And this is where you've inherited fog. I'm talking about the grandmothers here. You've inherited fog. Neptune is a fog, right? Or obscurity, something that you couldn't see, right? And inherited it from your grandmother, so you're not aware of this point in Neptune, but it's protecting you, and it's coming from your grandmother. So your grandmothers can pass down your nervous system health, your threat calibration, being attuned to any threats in your environment, visibility tolerance. Your grandmother passes that down. Strategies for survival within a patriarchal reality. What not to say, right? When to disappear, when to endure. And this can play out now in this lifetime as I don't know why I hesitate or procrastinate. I freeze when I'm seen. When somebody really sees me, I freeze. I freak out. I feel unsafe being clear. I can't quite name what's wrong, right? I stay vague, right? To stay safe. And that strategy worked. It worked once, and it would pass down from your grandmother. So it kept women alive in environments where clarity, truth, sexuality, or authority was punished. So the body learned, because you've inherited this into your body, right? Your grandmother's protection here. So the body learned, don't see too clearly. You need to be in a little bit of a fog of where you are, where you actually are, right? In your environment. Don't be too clear. And don't be too visible, right? So this came from your grandmothers because they experienced oppression, explicit oppression, right? They had fewer rights. They were under religious control. There was sexual danger for your grandmothers. There was dependency on a male authority figure or a male authority system, right? A patriarchal system. And silence was survival. So they pass this down to you. And so how you can experience this is body tension. Tension in your body, your breathing patterns, right? So you can have like stress, shallow breathing patterns, posture, your vigilance, your emotional withholding, keeping secrets, right? And the granddaughter, right? The granddaughter inherits the strategy, but not the context. So this is why it can feel irrational at times, right? It can feel irrational. So Neptune and Aries coming in, it doesn't punish the fog. It dissolves the need for it, right? So an example would be If you have Neptune and it's connected to your home life, right? Your home life. Maybe it's in the 37. Maybe it's in the 37. And a child needs affection, right? Love is the currency of the child. It's a real need, like it's a tangible need, right? So you're not getting that. You're not getting the affection. You're not getting emotionally regulated from your mother, let's say, right? And so that need's not being fulfilled. So the Neptune fog, right, would be like, I can't see my mother clearly. I'm in this fog. I can't see her. And maybe your mother's competitive. Maybe your mother's like merged and like energetically draining you, right? Something like that. Well, the fog is created from the grandmother. The grandmother passes this down, and then you can't see your mother clearly. You can't see these dynamics clearly because it's dangerous for a child to see clearly, to see that clearly. Be right? Because that's your primary caretaker. If you see that, it would be like you would collapse. Your whole psyche would collapse. You would probably fragment, right? You would fragment and create all these different personalities, and you wouldn't be coherent now as an adult, and especially with 2027 coming in. So the fog served a purpose, but now Neptune in Aries is dissolving the fog so that you can see things clearly. You're going to see things clear because now you can handle it. So that's just like an example of how this can work, but it really depends on your chart, right? Right? So it's dissolving the need for it. Like, I don't need this fog anymore. I don't need this fog anymore. So the body realizes, with Neptune and Aries, your body realizes that the environment's changed. What does that mean? The frequency of the planet is changed, right? It's changed. The body realizes this. The body's going to realize it before the mind, right? So not intellectually. It's not an intellectual thing. Oh, my environment's changed. No, it's a somatic thing. You feel it in your body. So that's why this year, misalignment, if you're not aligned in your relationships, you're not aligned in your community, you're not aligned with your soul purpose, right? It's going to hurt faster, right? Because the body is coming online big time. Any vagueness will become intolerable to you. Self-abandonment will show up as huge physical discomfort, and the body starts saying no before the mind does, right? So that's like the body is like, no, before even your mind knows what's going on, right? So the fog doesn't lift because you understand it. It's because the conditions that require it are no longer present. So you'll see where I'll talk a lot about in the retreat, like the blind spots with the Neptune in Aries and what this transit will bring. But it's really about you dropping a major thing that you've been carrying since the Cathars, your grandmothers, all of that stuff, so that you can really come into this year fresh, right? So the online retreat is, look at the dates. The 21st, the 22nd, the sun's in the 41st gate. 23rd, 25th, these are the core dates, but it doesn't end then, right? The 26th, Neptune is in Aries. And then you've got the support meditation on the Wednesday, and then the integration meditation on the seventh day, right? So, and then in February, then we are February 20th is Saturn and Neptune conjunct in 0 degrees Aries, and then it's like game on here. So the dates are really important. Okay, so keep that in mind, and I have finally got some stuff up on my website. And the link is down below for closing of the wheel, January 23rd, 25th. You don't need to attend live. It's best if you do attend live, but there's recordings of the classes and there's meditations, and you'll have your own personal sheet for your Neptune with reflection questions and how you can just bring this into your awareness. Okay? So keep this in mind. Listen to your body. Are you being called to this retreat or not? You may not. You may not be ready for it, or it's not aligned with you, but listen to your body with it. And just keep in mind the schedule is up, but for me, the teachings don't come all at once. Like, I don't use my mind when I'm doing these online retreats. It's like I surrender and I have to have the experience, and I go through a mutation and a change myself, right? To facilitate, guide, teach these retreats. So it's coming in. So there may be some things that change, but the time and the dates and everything stay the same. Like, that's the structure, but the teachings, right? So I'll update that as much as I can as soon as I know things for a fact. But it's really about you surrendering to the experience, because remember, with the sleeping phoenix, and I've said this even before I even knew the word sleeping phoenix, is that everything you know is inside you, right? Your Cathar, if you're past life Cathar, Gnosis, everything is there and it's waiting to be unlocked. The codes are waiting to be unlocked in your body. But what you need is an experience. And that's what I intend to provide. I provide for you is an experience, an energetic experience, so that your wisdom can unlock. Okay, so go check it out, read it, and certainly sign up if you feel called. And because it's in about 3 weeks now. Okay, so is there anything else I wanted to share about the full moon? I guess we can go into the tarot reads. The tarot reads. So this is a time that you can, if you're watching on your phone, to just take a pause and, go use the washroom, have some water, get some tea, and then you come back, and this is where we land, right? We land. So this is the message for the full moon in the 39th gate. And 39, right? This is liberation. The 39th gate is about liberation. To me, it's the tantric energy, right? The tantric energy. It's the diagonal energy. So, if you have a square, in astrology, if something's, that's not a good thing in astrology, right? Is when you have a square, because this is this tension that doesn't get resolved, right? So what the 39, the gift of the 39 is it's diagonal energy. So it goes right through that square. And what do you have? You got two triangles then. And those are trines, and those are good things to have in astrology. So liberates, right? So I've got the whole channel, the 3955. Let me know if you have the whole channel. And 55 is about spirit, right? So the 39 is poking at the spirit of others, is poking at their authenticity. So people who are fake and pretending and wearing masks, they don't like me, right? They do not like me and I don't even have to say anything. It's just in my aura. I'm like provoking their spirit. Where are you? Take that mask off. And some people just aren't ready for it, right? Or they don't, or maybe it's not their destiny in this lifetime to be authentic. So it can be provoked, but it's provoking you. Okay, wake up, right? It's time for the soul to wake up. Come on, wake up. Okay, so this will illuminate for you, right? Where are you fighting for something that's not authentic? Where are you wasting your energy? Stop wasting your energy. Generators and manifesting generators. Okay. So full moon in the 39. So the prayer was for the fractal, my fractal, the Phoenix fractal. So the question for the fractal What's provoking you? What's provoking you right now and why? And so the Eight of Pentacles reversed with the World here. So this is work without completion energy. So you're being provoked because you're over efforting. You're working too hard and you're repeating cycles that should have been done. They're expired. The world means it's over, but you're still efforting. So you're perfecting something that no longer needs refining. So the world says this cycle is complete. It's complete. And the Eight of Pentacles reverse says, but you keep working on it, right? Like it's not. You're pretending that it's not. You keep working on something that's dead. It's expired. Like the Weekend at Bernie's, right? You're dragging around a dead corpse, right? It's already gone. The relationship's gone. It's completed. The job's completed. Whatever it is, it's completed. So this is what's the question? Your question is why am I still doing this when it's already ended? And gate 39 irritates you here. It irritates you because it's, so that you can, it's irritating you, it's triggering you, right? The 39 triggers you to stop polishing whatever's finished. Stop trying to resurrect something that's already gone. Right? So that's what's provoking you right now. So just take a moment. Like, what am I working on that's gone? Like it's gone. It's dead. It's like an experience that's past now. But I'm trying to keep it alive. And you're wasting your energy. Okay, what fight is no longer worth your life force? The Sun reversed and the Six of Swords reversed. So this fight is to stay optimistic. The Sun reversed is like, I'm going to stay optimistic even when the joy is gone, right? This is hopium, right? I'm going to make it work, right? By just like white knuckling, right? I'm going to make this work. And you're convincing yourself that things will brighten if you just hold on. Right, another day, another week, another month, right? Maybe when this happens and that happens, it will get better. And you're right. And the Sun reverses, it's dimming your vitality and your radiance. It's affecting your radiance and your vitality. And the Six of Swords reversed, it's like you're refusing to leave. You don't want to leave. So this is delayed departure. What are these cards saying? It's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better. That's what the cards are saying. So gate 38 says, if staying costs you your light, if staying in this situation, in this relationship costs you your light and your vitality, the fight's already lost. That's a sign it's not the fight for you. You're not growing. You're not evolving. You're exhausted. So this is permission. These cards are permission to stop trying to feel good when your body says no. Right? Stop talking yourself out of your body's message. Right? It's not going to get better. It's time to move on, right? This is 2026. You've stayed long enough. That's what this is saying. So, right? It's not going to get better. And seriously, do you want to live your life like this? Dimmed out, not alive? For what? Right? For what? And if it's safety and security, like kiss that goodbye. Right? Your only security now is in your authenticity, not your fakery, not playing a role, no shoulds. I should do this, I should do that. That's not going to keep you safe and secure. It's your authenticity. So what equal exchange has been broken? Look at that, the Ten of Wands. I laughed when that card came out. Well, there's no mystery, eh? Paging Dr. Freud here. There's no mystery here. Ten of Wands. This is, you've been carrying. That's you. I don't see any help here. right? You're carrying everything on your own. You've been carrying too much for too long for people who normalized it. Oh, that's just what she does, right? Yeah, she sacrifices herself and she does everything, right? They normalize it. This is the unequal exchange. So this is the classic 3740 distortion, right? Duty without support. That 40, right? I work for you, but I'm not getting any support back. Responsibility without any relief, any rest. There's no rest. Loyalty without return. That's that tribal bargain. You're loyal. You just do it, right? I endure. Love means I endure. Love means that I'm loyal. That's the old the cross of planning version of love. That's not love. That's the tribal exchange. This is the fog lifting. Neptune and Aries, right? The fog is lifting on this 3740. The cost of being in these tribal relationships. We're going to start to see them clearly. Right? So if it feels heavy, whatever you are in your life right now, and it feels heavy, like, oh, I'm exhausted by doing this, right? If it feels heavy, it meant that it was never yours alone. So put down those wands. Put them down. And let the people that are responsible for them to come and pick them up, right? Pick up their own wands. Right? This is not a testament of love, loyalty, and endurance and self-sacrifice. That's all cross the planning conditioning BS, right? Get that out of your head. Self-love is obeying, listening, and obeying your body and what your body is saying. That's what self-love is. Not this. Not this. Right? We don't need martyrs. This is the martyr. Okay. Okay. So the agreement, whatever agreement you were in, it's unequal. Even if it was never spoken, it was unequal. Okay. And then position 4, the fourth card. What boundary or withdrawal restores your power now? If you set a boundary or withdrew, drop the wands, right? Like what would happen? So this is not withdrawal into isolation. It's like you're not isolating or running and lobbing bombs at people, right? This is returning to your ground, stabilizing your nervous system, coming home to yourself, right? The 4 of Wands. And choosing environments that feel safe and mutual, right? And the boundary is, I only participate when I'm met. When that other person shows up and I met in my depth, right? So gate 40 approves of this message, gate 40, right? Gate 40, the shadow of gate 40 is that you have to earn your love. You've got to suffer for love. That's the shadow. That's what you're letting go of. So power comes back when you stand where you're supported, not where you're needed. Being needed is not love. That's another cross of planning, the conditioning BS. Stand where you're supported, where other people are supporting you, supporting your authenticity, not your fakeness, right? And if you don't have it, then stand alone and support yourself, right? Don't go where you're needed and exploit it. I need you. I'm in a crisis. I'm in chaos. That's not love. That's this unequal exchange, right? So what clarity or liberation emerges when you stop fighting? Oh, this is interesting. I just realized this. This is like a match. Okay. Okay, I just got sidetracked there. So the Hierophant. So this is the clarity or liberation that emerges if you stop fighting. Stop fighting. So the Hierophant is authority reclaimed, not external authority, not tradition, not the way that it's always been. It's always been this way. This is trusting your own inner law. Your own inner law. What's your inner law? Where's your boundary? Where's your line? Set your line. Where's your deal breaker? Set that. Set that. So this is an ending in your inherited rules. So look at what you've inherited from your mother, right? In terms of this. Well, this is just what you do. This is just how men are, right? That the woman has to do this and the woman has to do that. Like, look at it. Like, really look at it. Who told me this? Is this mine? Why? Watch yourself. Watch your behavior, right? Mercury in the 10. Watch your behavior. How are you behaving? Why am I doing this? Who have I inherited this from? Right? Don't be looking to your relationships for that. Look to yourself. Look to yourself. Because something wants to be seen. It's the full moon in the 39. Something wants to be seen. So this is releasing roles that you were trained into. And liberation looks like I no longer need permission to live in alignment. This is the end of your borrowed beliefs and the start of your embodied truth. That's what this says here. So this is saying to stop. Let's do the wrap up. Stop working on something that's already complete. Whatever it is, the job, the relationship, whatever it is, stop working on it. Stop staying where joy has left. Joy left the building long, long ago. It's not coming back. I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but I like to be the bearer of truth. It's not coming back. It's not coming back. And then stop carrying what was never reciprocal. No, right? There's nobody carrying 5 wands there. There's nobody even carrying 1 wand. You're carrying them all, right? There's no equality here. And return to environments that stabilize you. Go to the environments that stabilize you. Go to the relationships where you feel at home, where your body relaxes and your body opens and you feel at home and I feel like I can be myself. Though that's what you need, right? And this will stabilize your nervous system. And then claim your own authority, your own inner authority here without apology, without apology. So gate 39 provoked the irritation. Gate 38 revealed the meaningless fight and battle you're in. And 3740 channel exposed the broken agreement. And the Hierophant seals it. You're no longer governed by guilt-based contracts or shame-based contracts. Or shoulds. I should. This is very good. Very, very good. Okay, so let me know if you resonate with this fractal, this reading, and if it helps bring clarity. And you'll know you're on my fractal if you're aligned with these messages. Okay, so let's go to Twin Flame. Right here, the Twin Flames. Okay, so Twin Flame journey. And you may be on a Twin Flame journey. You don't even know you're on a Twin Flame journey. Right? You haven't met your Twin Flame. You haven't crossed paths with your Twin Flame yet. But if you resonate with these readings, then you're probably on a Twin Flame journey. Twin Flames will start coming. We'll start to see more of them come together in union. Self-sovereign, each self-sovereign, as we come closer to 2027. So what's being provoked? So this is for the divine feminines, the ones that identify as divine feminine. What's being provoked in you right now on your twin flame path? Right? So remember that the twin flames are always connected, even if they're not in the physical connected in the physical world, in the energetic world. They're always connected. So they're impacting one another on the energetic level. So what's being provoked in you, Divine Feminine, right now on the twin flame path in the Temperance card? I like this card a lot. The Temperance, Major Arcana. So what's being activated in you is integration. This is the Alchemist, the Temperance card. So not longing, not loss, not waiting. Temperance says provocation is stop swinging between extremes and come back into wholeness, right? So this is the irritation of knowing better. You know better, but you keep oscillating back and forth. Feeling the truth, but checking out emotionally, like numbing yourself out. Being half in devotion, half in self-protection. So being open and closed, like going back and forth. Angry, feeling love, and then feeling anger. Reactionary, like, oh, it's all in God's will, it's divine timing, and then getting angry, like the back and forth. Temperance is saying to come into balance, come into balance. So gate 39 is triggering alchemy. Alchemy. The twin flame path is all about alchemy, right? The twin flame connection will trigger what needs to be integrated, right? That's why the childhood wounding and all that stuff comes out, because it's showing you what needs to be integrated. And if you're with a karmic and you're getting triggered, there's none of this. It's just loops. The trigger loops and loops and loops and loops and loops, because you're not supposed to be with your karmic, right? Your karmic is the mirror to show you, right? It's not your forever place. It's to trigger you. Okay, I got it. I finally got it. I'm finally going to integrate this, right? So this could be from your karmic too, not your twin. If you're in a karmic intense relationship, this is like, don't go to the extreme. I'm leaving. I don't want anything to do with him. Oh, I love him and blah, blah. Maybe it will be, we'll work out. Oh, remember what we did 3 years ago, right? Like that back and forth, the oscillating. Temperance is telling you to go inside yourself and find that balance point, right? Within yourself. Not check out emotionally. Keep your heart open. Okay, so you're being asked to blend your heart and your mind, your longing and your self-respect, spiritual knowing and embodied choice, and this is maturity. This is called maturity. And guess who finds this like super, uber boring? This is boring. This peace stuff, and like there's no drama and there's no conflict, there's no fighting and arguing. That's the ego. The ego finds this boring, but this is your natural state. This is what you really want, right? Just that peacefulness, not reactionary. Reactions and intensities and fighting and arguing and passion, and that's not love. That's trauma bond. That's a trauma bond, right? So you want this. So that's what my guidance for you is to go inside. So this is what's being triggered for you, is to go inside. Don't go into these extremes and fry out your nervous system, and then you need days to recuperate. Like, no, I'm just going to go in. I'm going to stay inside and right where it's peaceful. I'm not letting anybody disturb my peace here. I'm going to alchemize what comes up for me. Anger comes up for me. I'm going to just sit with it. I'm going to feel it and let it alchemize. Position 2 is what fight or attachment are you being asked to release? What are you being asked to release? And you've got the Queen of Swords and the Four of Cups here. So this is the fight to stay emotionally detached, right? The Four of Cups. Stay emotionally detached, which is numb, right? Stay numb for safety, to feel safe. Well, they can't hurt me, right? That other person can't hurt me. I'm just going to numb for safety. And you could do it like through drugs or alcohol or some kind of addiction, right? Doing things, staying busy, is shutting yourself down for safety, right? This is the ego. I don't want to be hurt. And then you reject what doesn't arrive in fantasy form, and you stay superior instead of vulnerable. You stay superior, stay prideful instead of vulnerable, right? Because if you open your heart up, you have to be vulnerable. This is like, I'm just going to numb out. I'm going to numb out. And then the Queen of Swords can be the armor. So shut down my heart, pretend I don't care. Oh, it's okay, right? I don't care, right? That I'm in this like loveless relationship. It's okay, right? I don't care. I don't have any needs. You don't have to pay any attention to me. Oh, it doesn't matter if you misunderstand me or can't really see me. That's you being a big fake, right? Refusing to be vulnerable. Because that's where your power is. You cannot be authentic without your heart opened, right? You cannot be intuitive and in your power without your heart opening. Don't believe the cross the planning BS that if I don't feel something, I'm weak, right? Don't, or what your mother taught you or something or modeled to you. Like she was like all over the place with her emotions, so I'm never going to be like her, right? So watch this, because look, the Queen of Swords comes in, right? So the Four of Cups says you've been emotionally unavailable, even to life, right? You haven't been emotionally connected to life. And the attachment being released is if I stay cool, like I don't care, if I stay observant and I just watch, and I'm withholding until I'm sure, right? Until I'm sure of everything. So this could be with your karmic or your twin, right? I don't really care about my twin, that was whatever, right? I'm just going to see what happens, right? I'm completely shut down. That's not the point of the twin. It's to keep your heart open, even in separation, right? Keep your heart open and let that energy work on you, that connection work on you spiritually. Gate 36, 38. Gate 38 says, the fight no longer serves you. This fighting no longer serves you. Wisdom without openness becomes isolation, right? So staying in your head, not your heart, staying in your mind here. So it's no longer serving you, this fight, because you're fighting with yourself. That's what this is saying. And then position 3 is, what truth about your current connection, could be karmic or your twin, must you face now? The Seven of Swords. This is like the low-level devil card, right? And then the Two of Cups reversed. So this is the truth card. No bypassing. No bypassing here. So your connection, whether it's a karmic or a twin, right, is marked by avoidance. You're avoiding this relationship. You're not being truthful about this connection. You're just telling yourself half truths. You're lying to yourself, basically. You're in emotional retreat. You're shut down emotionally. And misalignment masked as timing. So the Two of Cups reverse says this is not mutual right now. Your karmic or your twin, it's not mutual right now because it's in reverse. So the Seven of Swords says that part of you knows this already. You know this already, and you've been gentle with the truth that this connection, this relationship is not mutual, right? So this is clarity. So the gate 3740 is exposing where the equal exchange is missing in this relationship. So you're coming out of dishonesty about this relationship. And then how do you reclaim your self sovereignty and wholeness? The Nine of Wands reversed and the Ace of Pentacles. So this says to stop bracing for the worst, stop waiting for the next hit, stop staying in defense mode, stop proving your strength. And then what comes is the Ace of Pentacles. And this is a new foundation in the body. This is real. This is not fantasy. So sovereignty looks like you're grounding, you're choosing what nourishes you now, and you're opening to something tangible instead of symbolic suffering. So this is where self-union becomes physical. You're not stuck in the you're not just stuck in your mind, right? That Queen of Swords. So the last card is what becomes possible for you, for love, when you stand whole onto yourself, right? When you come in union with yourself. This is the Rebirth card, right? So it says the old identity dies. Your old identity dies. And that's very true on the twin flame path, is an old identity has to go. An old identity has to go. An ego death, right? An ego death has to happen. And you can look at it like it's connected to the cross of planning, right? Because twin flame connections cannot bring in these cross of planning bargains and social contracts. That's not their purpose here. It's to be role models for what it means to be self-sovereign, hold on to yourself in connection, in relationship. So this old identity has to go. The old story releases. The past releases. The old waiting pattern completes. Not waiting around for the right timing, right? Oh, this is the right timing. This isn't the right time. So what becomes possible isn't union with another first. It's liberation from the loop. Liberation from the loop. So this is where love meets you honestly. Truth replaces fantasy. The soul calls in what's real, not karmic, right? With the Judgment card. Right? Because this is the soul purpose card, the Judgment card. So the soul's going to bring in, right? Bring in what's real, not karmic. And this is resurrection energy. Resurrecting for you. So if we do the wrap up here, so the Temperance card is integration is your work now, is to integrate what comes up, what's coming up for you. Shadow coming up for you. Is the past coming up for you? Right? So your work is to alchemize it. And you're built for it. If you're on my fractal, you're built for it. You're built for that kind of depth. Emotional withholding is no longer protection. Not being honest emotionally with yourself and others is no longer going to protect you. And then equal exchange, right? Equal exchange in your relationship is more important, right? An equal exchange is more important than what the labels are of this relationship. Sovereignty begins in the body and in the present, right? Sovereignty begins in the body and the present moment. And so self-union ends this cycle entirely, ends this crazy cycle entirely. When you come into your self-union, union with yourself. Right? So I talked about that, I think, in my last video, right? About the inner masculine, the divine feminines have to embrace their own inner masculine energy, and then they stop attracting the weak karmic men. Okay, so this isn't about you waiting or chasing or fixing or proving your love or suffering. This is about you becoming unavailable to have love, right? Unavailable. This is you setting some boundaries, setting your lines. I will not settle for less. This is my bar. And let the ego come in and your cross the planning conditioning, like, oh, well, you'll always be alone. You'll always be alone. It's like, no, this is my bar. I'm not lowering the bar for anything because I'm afraid of being alone. That's cross the planning fear. Okay. So when you choose wholeness, because this is about you choosing wholeness within yourself, you don't, you're not losing love. You're upgrading your timeline for 2026. Right? So keep that in mind. Okay, so that's what I have for the readings in the video. So keep in mind the closing of the wheel, the last turn before the reset. This is the last year, 2026. 2027, everything's changing, right? The energy, the background frequency is changing in many, many, many ways. So this is about closing the wheel now this year. So the online retreat, January 23rd to the 25th. Then there's a support meditation the Wednesday following, and then the integration meditation on the last Sunday. So check in with your body. What's my body saying right now? Am I being pulled to this retreat, this weekend retreat, or not, right? So you want to obey your body. So I have got lots of information now up on my website, and the only thing I want to say is that the teachings may change, but the times and the structure of it will not. That stays in place. Okay. So I will see you next video, and remember you can follow me on Instagram, Telegram, and then YouTube, my YouTube community page where I post daily a lot on what's going on with the transits. Okay, so take really good care of yourself, and I look forward to reading your comments. I love reading the comments. Okay, Satnam Aloha, everybody.